Thank you. Well, my name is Nancy Steinkamp, and I am the founder of Wisdom Writing, and I am honored to be here this morning. I know I've been, over the past year, I've really been getting to know different folks from this group, and I just know that there are a lot of very compelling personal missions in this audience. This session was actually conceived in March, when some of you may remember Coach Jim Johnson came to this group to talk about personal leadership. And so he asked the group, how many of you have a personal mission statement? Because I happen to agree with Coach Johnson that when you have a really clear sense of your life purpose and what your personal mission is, then you do make a wonderful leader. In fact, the Leadership Development Institute in Ohio actually also agrees with Coach Johnson about that. So I'm going to ask this question again. How many of you have a personal mission that you try to live by? Okay. And is it written down? Good. Then at least half the room recognizes the value of having a personal mission. And I think if you haven't written one yet, or if you haven't thought about it yet, the components of a personal mission really take into consideration what you value, what you believe, what you've accomplished in your life, and what you hope to contribute. And when you have a really clear sense of all those things, then it helps to direct your choices. It helps you to determine what your goals are. Make sense? Logical to me. So everyone should really have one, I would think. Yet, even those of us who have a clear sense of our mission, have you ever gotten off track? Maybe felt that what you were doing wasn't quite what you wanted to be doing, or you were in alignment with that? Maybe you met this guy. I know I certainly have. If you don't know where you're going, it doesn't matter what road you take. And I'm sitting there saying, yeah, I know that, duh. But you still don't know what road you want to be on. Or, I think the traffic analogy is really, really good. Have you ever been driving and suddenly found yourself like you don't even know, you're not really sure where you are? Well, it's interesting. Those things happen in life as well. And I know for me, when that happens, it's usually because I'm not paying attention. So this morning, you have the opportunity to stop. You have the opportunity to focus on you and where you are. So we are going to write personal mission statement. We're going to spend a little bit of time writing. But I do, again, like with the Leadership Development Institute, how they kind of describe the process, because it's as much an act of discovery as it is an act of writing. So just because you write a statement doesn't mean that you're sealing those words in cement and it can never change. It's a very active process if you are truly committed to living your personal mission. Not just writing a mission statement, but you're truly committed to living your personal mission. So before we get into the writing, I know that some of you are professional writers. How many of you love to write? How many of you hate to write? How many of you who love to write sometimes hate to write? Okay. I know when I tell people that I teach expressive writing, get away from me, I don't want to learn that. But I'm going to borrow from my world of expressive writing and share some tips that will help you not only in the writing exercise this morning, but that also as you try to live your personal mission. A big one that I have found is that judgment oftentimes will stifle expression, particularly in writing. So if you're feeling like you got a deadline and there's that pressure, or it's got to be written perfectly, then that will stifle expression. And with expressive writing, there's good news. There are no rules. When we understand that piece around the judgment, and we give ourselves the freedom to not be bound by rules, including grammatical rules. Because when it comes to personal expression, we're trying to express what's going on with us. And I believe another RPCN workshop was talking about bringing some of the unconscious stuff up. So in expressive writing, we're kind of releasing you from any of those rules. There are no rules except my number 2 tip, which is to date your entry and keep what you write. Keeping what you write includes anything that you are called upon to think about yourself. Any of that is really your personal writing. You actually, even if you don't keep a journal, you actually are participating in expressive writing. Anytime you come to a workshop, and anytime a facilitator asks you to think about something in your life, such as, what are your strengths? What do you hope to accomplish? Writing that quick, what's your business all about? So you're reflecting on where you are, who you are, and how you interact with the world. So that is all expressive writing. Sometimes you're doing assessments. Like if, sometimes they're formal, like a disc profile or an Enneagram or any of those kinds of things. My recommendation to you is anytime you engage in anything like that, keep it. Keep it maybe in a folder, mark it personal, because it's really important when it comes to your personal expression to periodically review what you write. So again, even if you're not a journal writer, go back to those things that you have gathered information about yourself. You've thought about something about yourself, and maybe you've, again, completed a survey. Go back to that. Number 4 is actually something that could seem to contradict number 2, which is to keep what you write. But it's there to help you with the judger. It's there to help you with that inner critic that sometimes stifles expression. So that when you have to write something, and you know that someone else is going to review it, you're afraid, sometimes to even express. This is to give yourself permission to throw away what you write. So that is just that sometimes you might be going into some subjects that it's just the only way you're gonna kind of be able to express yourself is if you know, okay, this is my first draft, or I can toss this. Hopefully you won't use that too often, because if you really want to do number 5, which is identify what you're learning about yourself, you want to have something to review. And we're going to go through a series of writing exercises, and you're going to be working very quickly. The first one that we're going to do is actually, it's called a sentence stem. And basically what you're doing is you're just completing a sentence with the first word or phrase that comes to your mind. There's not a lot of thinking. So the first is, I would describe myself as, and then just write down the word or phrase that comes to mind. The next, over the years, other people would describe me as what? So think about yourself, your younger self, as the time passes, maybe consistent feedback that you've gotten from someone. The third, I would like people to remember me as ... So the first thing that comes to mind. The first sentence stem, again, it'll be the first phrase that comes to mind. I believe that ... Next, I greatly value what? And the last, I am most proud of. I am most proud of what? And this is just a simple list of your talents, of your strengths, maybe things that you highlight in your elevator speech. First things that come to mind, just a couple, 3, 4 of the talents, maybe the ones that you really are most proud of. So here you're going to do just a kind of a free written sentence or two that is, it can be, I hope to use my, maybe a very specific talent that you're very energized by. So I hope to use my talent for X to Y, to do this. Or it could be a general statement like, I hope to use my talents for, or I hope to use my talents to, whatever flows for you, whatever you're composing in your own mind. But how do you hope to use your talent? Okay, so then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to actually, we're going to put this together to write our mission statement. So, so when you take a look at what you've actually expressed on the paper, you're looking at who you are, what you value, what you believe, what you hope to accomplish, what you hope to contribute, and how you use your talents. When you look at what you wrote today, I'm going to have you free write a mission statement. If you already have a mission statement, you can write it down and then just take a look at, is there any need to update it? Okay. So in the last section, the lines down below, I'd like you to write your mission statement. And mission statements often have components like, my personal mission is to be a ... Or my personal mission is to serve ... Or my personal mission is to be known for ... So just let whatever right now wants to be expressed, let that just be the expression. Let that part flow. Mission statements are not written in cement. They do adjust and change as you do, because they are based on your values and your beliefs, and they're based upon what you want to contribute to the world. So as you grow and change, as your life experience continues to add on, that will adjust over time. If your mission is not reviewed periodically, then you risk not being relevant anymore, because your personal mission interacts with the world. So the people that you are interacting with, again, if you're not adjusting and changing along the way, then your mission may not be having the impact that you would want it to have. So that's one of the reasons why we periodically do review it. And that's why when in my tips, I said, keep this. If you're not, again, even if you're not a person who uses a personal journal, keep all the things that gives you information about yourself. I wanted to include another resource for you, because oftentimes you're answering questions. So, you answered a series of questions here to kind of get at your life purpose and what's important to you. And what I liked about that resource is you could go there and there's different ways to, you answer a series of questions for revealing your mission. And they have it for a personal mission, they have it for a family mission, and for a team mission as well. And then when you're done, they send it back to you kind of in a narrative form. So you actually get like a description, a lengthier description of your mission. And it's something that you can periodically review. So whenever you are answering questions and you look back on, how did I answer that 3 months ago? What's moved? What's shifted? What has changed? So it's a very good resource. Also could be used with clients, because as we look at how our personal missions interact with our vocational mission. Should your personal mission be the same as your business mission statement? To answer that question, I compared the reasons and what we're hoping to get out of personal and business mission statements. So the reasons we write those statements down are the same, whether it's personal or business. We are looking to define who you are. A company is looking to define who they are, what service they provide. So what's their value? Does a company operate under certain beliefs? The mission statement and our personal and business missions does distinguish us from others. Personally, you are a unique person who, while we might have, these two folks might have the same values or other folks have the same background, you put it together in a very unique way. So your life experience is different from someone else's, and so even though there's similarities, you are unique, and that's why your personal mission defines your uniqueness. A company does the same thing when they define their mission. It does distinguish them from others. You may do similar work, but you do it in a different way, and you have different resources available to you. So those are reasons why we define the mission. And also, it provides our inspiration. It provides our inspiration to guide our action. So those reasons why we define our mission are the same for both business and mission. Where the difference comes in is with the words. Your personal mission statement, the words need to resonate with you. You're the one who needs to define and look at whether or not any changes need to be made. They need to resonate with you. What you wrote down on the piece of paper needs to be something that if you're truly living it, you don't have to memorize it because you're living it. And the words that you've chosen to express your personal mission need to inspire your action. So you're totally in control of that. That is a process with just you. With the business mission statement, though, those words, they need to resonate with a lot more people. So there's a lot more levels to it. They need to resonate with your target audience. They need to resonate with anybody who works for you. And everyone is seeking that inspiration. And that's another reason why I think it's become very, very important in business that the business is very clear about their mission. I mean, even when it comes to attracting employees. And if we get back to the question that we were answering here, which is, should your personal mission statement be the same as your business mission statement? I think one of the things that this example highlights is that the words probably will be different. They could be different between your personal and your business mission statement. But what should not be different is the underlying values. What should still have some congruency and alignment are what you are personally hoping to accomplish and what your work actually accomplishes. So to take another look at that, we are going to look at the words. I have another writing exercise for you. In the left-hand box, I want you to write your personal mission statement again. So it can be the one that you came in here with this morning. It could be what you just wrote, but write your personal mission statement in that left box. And then in the right-hand box, I'm going to have you write your business mission statement. So it can be your business mission statement or the company you work for. If you don't know your business mission statement or the company you work for, any underlying values maybe that you believe your company stands for, or the purpose of the work that you do. And then I'd like you to look at what you've written and see if there are any similar words. Just write down those same words, or you can underline them, if there are some same words. If there are not, or in addition to, look for, are there similar values that are expressed in both? And write those down. The next thing that what we're going to do, it's called a reflection write. And it's basically whenever you reread something that you've written, and then you make a statement about it. So you might reread something that you've written and it'd be like, after I reread this, I notice ... or I'm surprised by ... So what I'm asking you to consider here is when I compare my personal and business mission statements, I notice that what? What do you notice? Anything you're surprised by? So what are you noticing right now? It might be right in alignment. That might be right what you're noticing. Or you might be, maybe I'm compromising a little bit and there's some changes. So how do you bring it back into a great alignment? Because we know that when you are operating from a really strong sense of a personal mission within your work, not only are you happier, but you're more effective. So that's part of this. So I had one more writing exercise for you, and it's actually when we think about how are we living our personal mission. So that statement, like I said before, is supposed to inspire you to action. So how does it actually show itself in your life? How do you actually live your personal mission? So if you were to describe your perfect day living your mission, what would that sound like? And in journal writing, we sometimes do what's called a perspective write. And I really like those because you put a future date and then you write the entry as though it were that date. You could pick 3 months out, or you could just write about your perfect day. But for me, my mission is cultivating wisdom. So when I have an opportunity to present to a group of people that I respect, score. When I have insightful conversations with people, score. When I convince someone that writing's not so bad, score. So I hope that you do have many, many perfect days of living your mission. And also, again, live with your personal mission statement. Have it be something that you do think about, and that you think about the words, and that they are something that you can describe. Not only can you describe to another person, but you are thinking about that when it comes to your choices. So when I'm cultivating wisdom, it's also with intention for you that you are learning from your life experience, because you are a unique life. You have experiences, you have opportunity to, when you pay attention to your life, when you learn from it, you have something then to share with others. And my belief statement is that I believe that everybody has wisdom to share. So if we can really have more dialogue with one another around the things we're learning about our life and really be open to that discussion, then we actually spread that wisdom.